What that here? I like that.
Atlanta, Georgia, a city steeped in history, where the echoes of civil rights leaders resonate through its streets. This dynamic city is not only the capital of the South, but also the heart of a new movement that has redefined the global entertainment industry.
But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own.
I love me some Georgia.
Roll sound, guys, roll sound.
Made in Georgia.
For this week's ATL Culture, we're digging into how Atlanta became the culture capital of the nation as the premier destination for movies, entrepreneurship, and music.
Atlanta's been able to draw movie and television productions from around the world.
Yeah, officials say there can be as many as 20 productions on the streets daily.
We have at least 14 to 20 productions on the street daily. You know, we're all over the place.
Atlanta is already home to several film and television shows. Now there's a handful of new productions in the metro area, and fans are spotting cast and crew all over.
Georgia and Metro Atlanta, already a major hub for production.
Atlanta can look like LA. Atlanta can look like Miami. We look like London, New York. And if you go outside of Atlanta, you'll get a little countryness as well.
Known as Hollywood of the South, Atlanta has become a powerhouse for storytelling, innovation, and cultural celebration. A city that has become synonymous with the glitz, the grit, and the growing global influence of Black Hollywood. Atlanta now stands as a beacon of creativity, diversity, and economic power in the world of film and television.
In 1971, Ebony magazine published an article titled Atlanta, Black Mecca of the South, written by Phil Garland, and 4 decades later, the city still lives up to that label. And in 1973, Maynard Jackson was elected as the first Black mayor of Atlanta.
Today's victory, and it is a victory.
The start of a seismic shift, and since then, the city has consecutively elected Black mayors. Atlanta, the birthplace of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and home to many civil rights leaders, gained global attention when the city hosted the 1996 Olympics.
The world began to pay close attention to its history and also its culture.
So you think about the 70s and the 80s here in Georgia, all of like Glory and Driving Miss Daisy and Fried Green Tomatoes and, My Cousin Vinny and like all of the Burt Reynolds movies, right? So there had a crew base had been built up and there was some infrastructure in place.
Jimmy Carter, the governor at the time, saw the potential and started the Georgia Film Commission. The next few decades brought films like Smokey and the Bandit and Driving Miss Daisy.
My mother's a little high-strung.
Fast forward to the 90s, and film and TV projects were still happening in Georgia, but at a slow and steady rate.
We would do probably, in the late 1990s, we might do 5 or 6 projects in a year.
Jump ahead to today.
Normally we do about 350 or more. So that's going to be a television series or feature films or commercials or music videos, but mostly television series and feature films.
The transformation began with vision and strategy. In 2002, Georgia introduced its first tax incentive to attract film and television productions. By 2008, the Georgia Entertainment Industry Investment Act turned dreams into reality, offering up to 30% in transferable income tax credits.
If you've ever stuck around until the end credits of a movie or TV show, then you've probably seen this. This small logo can potentially save productions millions of dollars. Georgia is one of the few states in the US with a production-friendly tax incentive program.
It's no secret that Georgia's film tax credit is one of the major reasons for the significant growth of the TV and film industry in the state. That growth has fueled development. There's now more than 120 sound stages across Georgia. And when construction on these sound stages here at Assembly is complete, that number will grow even more.
This bold move ignited a spark, drawing major studios, independent filmmakers, and global productions to the Peach State. By 2016, the Peach State had overtaken California as the top location for feature film production in the United States, earning the nickname Hollywood of the South.
Well, you already know Atlanta is the Hollywood of the South.
Georgia is Hollywood of the South for a good reason.
And the Hollywood of the South just keeps growing. And now 9 new sound stages join Metro Atlanta's booming film and television scene.
Atlanta's rise was not just about numbers, but about people and opportunities. Skilled technicians, visionary directors, and passionate crews found a new home in Georgia. Productions like Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns and the Marvel Cinematic Universe films showcase the versatility of Atlanta's landscape and workforce. Today, the city boasts a thriving community of over 5,000 local professionals who make these productions possible. The numbers tell a remarkable story. By 2017, Georgia's film and TV productions brought an economic impact of $9.5 billion, with $2.7 billion in direct spending. Yet this transformation wasn't just economic, it was cultural. At the heart of Atlanta's meteoric rise is Tyler Perry.
I fell in love with Atlanta many, many years ago when I first moved here, and I saw Black people doing well for the very first time. It motivated me, it inspired me, it let me know that Atlanta was a place that I could make my dreams come true. So to have this studio, which was a former Army base, right in the heart of Atlanta, I feel really, really honored to be that guy who has been put in that seat.
The studio was once a Confederate Army base, and I want you to hear this, which meant that there was Confederate soldiers on that base plotting and planning on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by one Negro.
Our collective power and stand together, you won't be sitting around hearing stuff about Oscar so white, because you would have created a table not only for you but for everybody else. So that's what I've been trying to do in Atlanta, create a table for all of us.
With the expansion of Tyler Perry's entertainment empire, as the mogul opened the first major studio owned by an African American.
My soul cries out hallelujah, thank God for saving.
In 2019, Perry unveiled Tyler Perry Studios, a 330-acre facility built on the historic grounds of Fort McPherson. This studio is more than a filming location. It's a symbol of resilience and achievement. It is the first Black-owned major film studio in the United States, featuring 12 sound stages named after trailblazing African-American artists.
I love this. You were down in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, down in hot Atlanta.
Tyler Perry has created his own studio.
His own studio.
On 330 acres just outside of Atlanta.
Absolutely, yeah.
And one of them is named after you.
Yes.
That's extraordinary. The Will Smith soundstage.
Soundstage, yeah, it was fantastic.
Tyler Perry made history over the weekend with the opening of his new film studio in Atlanta.
The centerpiece of the opening of the Tyler Perry Studios was the dedication of 12 sound stages named after Black directors, producers, actresses who have all made contributions to cinema.
Atlanta has earned its place in cinematic history. Iconic films like Black Panther and Avengers Endgame brought global attention to the city's capabilities. Television juggernauts like The Walking Dead and Stranger Things transformed Atlanta into a city where fantasy meets reality. From urban backdrops to quiet suburban streets, Georgia's diverse landscapes have become the canvas for countless stories.
The third installment, The Collected, is underway in Atlanta.
Eddie Murphy, Kelsey Grammer, Jason Bateman, and Patrick Wilson, they are all in town. They're in Georgia working on their latest project.
Today is the grand opening for Electric Owl Studios in DeKalb County, adding to the multi-billion-dollar TV and film production industry in our state.
CW's Black Lightning is filming scenes in Old Fourth Ward.
The Cornucopia Arena in the Hunger Games Catching Fire is really the Clayton County International Park. Remember the Oakland, California apartment complex at the beginning and end of Black Panther? Well, that's actually Wheat Street Towers right here east of downtown Atlanta.
We've had Captain America, Baby Driver, Ozark, The Walking Dead, Stranger Things. The list goes on and on and on.
Atlanta's film industry is back in fifth gear and growing. The Devil Made Me Do It was filmed around Atlanta and Noonan, and the latest film in The Conjuring. It's a series that debuts in theaters and on HBO Max Friday.
Respect.
We are home.
Black Panther.
Here we go.
Spider-Man.
Good evening, Peter. Love it. Love it.
For years, Georgians have had a front row seat to the making of major blockbuster films and TV shows.
I saw Spider-Man when he went up in the air at Rainbow.
Could you do me a favor? Hold on to that. Is this anybody's bike? We caught one production crew setting up to film in a fairly popular area of Atlanta.
I can tell you it's Disney, and I can tell you it's Marvel. So our set is going to be right there.
But it's not just Atlanta. Across Georgia, cities like Savannah, Columbus, and Covington have played vital roles in creating cinematic magic.
And then right here, Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks, as the bus pulls up, right here. So cool, right?
Some type of CGI. Okay, so all the walkers, hundreds of walkers would have been coming down this way. All this right here would have had fake wood on top of it for a wooden bridge. I'll show you a screenshot at the bottom. But they would have been walking across this way. Let me turn around. And Rick would have been stumbling this way.
Well, right now we can tell you the Fear the Walking Dead is filming. Season 2 of The Game, now on Paramount Plus, is filming. Wild 'N Out and Judge Steve Harvey. If you want to keep track of what's in production, just check out georgia.org.
From the cobblestone streets of Savannah seen in Forrest Gump to the small-town charm of Covington, featured in The Vampire Diaries, Georgia's towns are as much stars as the actors themselves. The economic impact of the film industry cannot be overstated. The average feature film budget spent locally is between 60% and 70%, fueling local businesses and creating jobs. A medium budget film employs around 150 workers, while larger productions bring in upwards of 250 local crew members.
For The Walking Dead, you had about, I would say 90 to 95% of the crew is local. Our director of photography is local. Our costume designer is local. So for us, the state of Georgia has been the absolute perfect place to be.
And action.
We were going to be like in 7 different states, but we've been able to get everything that we needed here. The crews are stellar here. They are so on it. Incredible makeup, hair departments, wardrobe, lighting, camera, caterers, the whole gamut. These people are on top of it. So we've been really, really lucky.
The reason why people look to Atlanta immediately, financially, it makes sense to shoot here. The crew base is large and good and growing.
For many, this industry is more than a career. It's a community, a family, and a dream realized. The rise of Black Hollywood in Atlanta reflects a broader cultural shift. As the center of the African-American community and the birthplace of icons like Martin Luther King Jr., Atlanta has always been a place where Black excellence is celebrated. Today, its film industry amplifies these voices on a global scale.
We've had a tremendous experience with the local crew, with the local acting community. There's a great reservoir of wonderful actors here.
There have been roles that we've cast out of Atlanta that we were planning to cast out of New York and LA, but we happened to discover brilliant actors here, and we were like, well, that'll work.
As the lights dim and the credits roll, Atlanta's story is far from over. Its film industry continues to grow, innovate, and inspire. The rise of Black Hollywood is a testament to resilience, creativity, and the power of representation. This is Atlanta, the city rewriting the rules of entertainment, one frame at a time. As we look to the future, Atlanta's film industry stands as a symbol of progress, proving that when opportunity meets creativity, the possibilities are endless. This is the rise of Black Hollywood. This is Atlanta's legacy, made in Georgia.